What's going on, winners? It's your boy Loso 2.0, and I should draw quick in. My fault. And today we're going to talk about Matthew 18 and the leadership takeaways that you can get from Matthew 18. But before we get started with that, I want you to click that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Winners win. Man, listen, I've been slacking. I ain't gonna lie. And I feel like every other video, I'm pretty much saying this. But I'm serious this time. Bro, I am going to be posting weekly videos, bro. Weekly videos, weekly lives, at least shorts 2 to 3 times a week. I got myself, so this is what I had to do. I had to get myself a nice little planner. It's a daily planner, weekly, monthly planner from Timeworks Wonders, which this joint is fire, bro. You know what I mean? Like all black, fire. You can carry it around. Doesn't look too, I know for some guys it might look a little feminine, I guess, to carry like a planner around. But this joint is like fire, bro. So literally can break it down. Then it has the little bookmarks like it's like a Bible, the Bible bookmarks, and look, write down my goals, have it broken to 30-minute increments in my schedule. Bro, this joint's just fire. So, but yes, it's in my schedule now. I'm locked in. I'm telling you, I'm not playing no more. I'm doing it, right? So definitely subscribe to the video. You're going to get leadership and motivational content weekly, connecting the Bible to it, right? So today we're talking about Matthew 18 though, right? So I feel like first I got to break the story down. Now, me, I don't know about you, I read, the Bible. Even after I read it, I got to go watch stuff on it. I got to go get some notes on it, whatever, just for me to get a great idea of it. But basically Matthew 18, how it works is it begins with the disciples asking Jesus, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, which we know, asking him who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Jesus responding by placing a child among them, right? Like a little baby, and teaching them that humility, childlike faith, and innocence are keys to greatness, which reminds me how they say that to get into the kingdom of heaven, you have to have a heart of a child. So that's what Jesus does, right? He warns against causing others, especially little ones, to stumble, emphasizing the seriousness of sin and accountability. So definitely holding yourself accountable, and also too as well making sure that emphasize like seriousness sin, right? I think on when I went to church on Sunday, our bishop, which he's the coolest bishop ever, he literally said that sin, I got it somewhere. Dang, where I put it. Sin is the wage of, or death is the wages of sin. The wages of sin are death, right? I know I got it somewhere written down. But he said the wages of sin. Yep, wages of sin is death. So you get paid out in death when you continue to sin. That's why I tell you not to sin, because they don't want you. God doesn't want you to lead yourself to destruction, self-destruction, right? So Jesus tells the parable of the lost sheep, showing how God cares for even one who strays. And in fact, and this is funny actually, we talked about this too as well in church yesterday, about how in fact God blesses those ones, but not just the ones who stray though. He blesses the ones who are poor in spirit, which means that poor people must be, when they say poor, they don't mean just you just lack of, they mean you lack of, but you understand that you lack of, right? You're humble. You recognize that you lack of, right? So God blesses, cares for those ones as well. And he provides guidance on how to handle conflict. So first he addresses issues privately, then with witnesses, then bring it before the community, right? That's how you handle conflict. So you handle it privately first, then you do it with witnesses, you talk to each one, and after that you bring it into the community. And then it closes with Peter asking how many times he should forgive, leading Jesus to tell the parable of the unforgiving servant, showing forgiveness must be limitless because God forgives us infinitely. And I feel like this is something you definitely learn in marriage. Definitely, it's a lot of forgiveness, a lot of fights, whatever, stuff that goes into it too as well, right? Now, let's get some leadership takeaways right there. Like I said, we learned a lot about the story of Matthew 18. So first thing is to lead with humility. See, true leadership is not about titles or positions, but serving with a childlike heart and openness. Okay, lead with humility. This reminds me again, I know I keep going back to church, but in church, we talked about the idea of this. Meekness. It sounds like weakness, but meekness is power under control. And the parable or the story that Bishop gave was he was pulled over, right? He was pulled over by a cop. The cop, obviously, when they're on duty, they have their gun. He had the badge. He pulling him over. He had all the authority, but he still at the same, he didn't like abuse that power that he had, right? So when you're leading, it reminds me of when I went to go do a kind of I don't know what the word I want to use for it. It was just like a way to make people come together, right? Because two employees were getting into it. One was the man, one was the leader, and one was like a representative. And the leader, he literally said, "Yo, I never threw in my face ever that I was the manager, and you gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to me." And I'm like, of course you shouldn't, because that's meekness. You have the power, but doesn't mean you should abuse and just throw it in his face that you were his boss. So you are his boss. I don't mean you need to throw it in his face either, though, right? When you lead with humility, I'm running multiple stores, but I don't go around being like, oh, I'm the boss. It's because of me. It's because of me. No, you lead with humility. You lead that you don't know everything. It's just about serving as much as possible. What do they need in order for them to become the best versions of themselves, right? Second is protect and develop your people. See, a leader ensures their team feels safe, encouraged, and not led into negativity or failure by negligence or poor example. So training is always constant, right? Protecting your people. But I can't even tell you how many times. I remember the latest thing I can think of is when I went into a store and a lady was really trying to give it to this rep, saying some racist remarks because the rep was a Spanish descent. And I'm just sitting there thinking, yo, man, like, relax. You can go get service at another store. And she's like, oh, what's your name? I'm reporting this, and trying to say she's going to report all this like that. And it's like, bro, I don't care if you report or not. You're just not going to treat people on my team with disrespect. That's the one thing you're not going to do. I don't care how upset you are. You're not going to treat them with disrespect. And we ended up kicking her out. But then also, too, as well, so protect your team, fight for them like that. But also, too, as well, continue to develop your team, right? Continue to teach them how to bundle, how to pitch this, how to overcome this objection. I'm constantly developing my team. It's always constant training. The moment you stop training, the moment you stop pushing is the moment everything starts to kind of go south, right? Because if you're not moving forward, you're only moving one other way, and that's backwards. Third point is have a process for conflict. See, great leaders don't let issues fester. They confront problems directly, respectfully, and systematically. Yes, do not let stuff build up. I have an example. Two leaders who were in one store together before they had to get separated, but they had a problem already for a year straight. Kept complaining about the problem. Me as leadership, I didn't know what to do because it was kind of a weird situation where my leadership was connected to one person kind of connected to both of them in a way. And then I'm connected to another one kind of in a way too as well. So I'm just saying, like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. And then we ended up having to separate them because it got so bad that it almost ended up in them fighting each other. Yes, people trying to fight each other at work. It's crazy, right? But sometimes it gets like that, right? So leaders don't let these issues like build up. They confront them directly, respectfully, and then systematically they ended up coming up with a system in order to get the problem dealt with, or how can we come to any type of resolution on the problem. Fourth is practice radical forgiveness. And it's the last piece. Leaders who can forgive and move forward build trust, resilience within their organization. Bitterness creates division. Forgiveness creates unity and growth. You're going to have to forgive a lot. Like I said before, in marriage, you're going to have to forgive a lot. But even in this too as well, like I said, there was that problem I was talking about before where I was saying the leader was saying, I never threw in his face once that I'm his boss. Well, you're not supposed to, right? But he ended up going back. Well, yeah, from what I'm going to talk to him to make sure, but he said, because this is more recently, but he said he went back and actually apologized to him. Yes, you should apologize. You don't want that to keep building up. You don't want that to be the reputation. I said, bro, you don't want this to be, first of all, we're at work. At the end of the day, we're grown men, we're at work. Bro, that's not what's going to happen here, right? But also, too, as well, it's like, bro, we're not going to continue to let stuff just keep, like, building up. Like, you gotta ask for forgiveness. I say, even if you feel like you're not wrong, you gotta ask forgiveness. And this is definitely true in marriage. You always saying sorry, even when you're not wrong. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much because I don't want, my wife to come out here and get my eyes shut, saying I'm playing with you. But definitely always ask for forgiveness. Keep forgiving too as well. In order to get, you have to give. It's just simple, right? This is all part of the process. So these are the points that are brought to you from Matthew 18 and leadership, right? So I want you to, like I said, comment below what your favorite point was from this video. Also, I want you to comment below maybe a chapter that you want me to take some leadership takeaways from when it comes to the Bible, or you want me to talk about. I want you to also subscribe to the channel. Like I said before, like this video, share, whatever you got to do. And then most importantly, I want you guys to keep killing the day. Remember, winners win and losers lose. But you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.